Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a show for you. Yep, how quickly they forget. I just almost can't believe it. We got folks out here talking about how Josh Heupel can't get it done. Oh, he may have to replace him, all this. People, I guess we're going to have a little talk, aren't we? So we got folks comparing him to James Franklin, which is not, by the way, James Franklin's a terrific coach. He was super successful at Vanderbilt, very successful at Penn State, where they were in a dumpster fire up there. And he won, 11 games a year for 3 years in a row, was ranked number one, lost a couple of games in the Big Ten he shouldn't have lost. Gone, $50 million. Anyway, here's some other comments. So say I'm overreacting all you want. He does not get our players ready to play in the critical games. He's not a horrible coach, but he will not win a championship at UT, etc. Here's one that says, when AD Danny White reviews the tapes, he'll be fired for sure. Here's one that says, get rid of him now. Here's one that says, fire him. I understand people get upset when you lose a big game, especially the Oklahoma game, the way we lost it. It was very unfortunate. We had a couple of key players miss incredibly important blocks, for example, and a couple of tackles that could have been made. But the reality is Josh Heupel's taken us out of a very bad situation. I don't know if y'all remember how this all got started. We fired Philip Fulmer because he had a bad year, a guy that won a natty and was the winningest coach in the 90s. And we brought in old Lane Kiffin, Mr. Cool Cat from California. Yeah, he was going to get us all squared away. 12 months later, you get this.
Thanks for coming, guys. This was not an easy decision. This was something that happened very quick. A decision that myself and my family made. And we've been here 14 months. The support has been unbelievable here. I really believe that this is probably the only place that I would have left here to go, was to go to Southern Cal.
Yeah, that was real cute of him. A day before National Signing Day, just totally screwed us, tried to take all the coaches and all his recruits with him. Just left us in an impossible situation. So we wind up hiring Dooley, who was 4-7 at Louisiana Tech because he had a last name. How'd that work out? Then we bring in Butch Jones, brick by brick, baby. Champions of life, all those great sayings. How'd that work out?
You have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
Then we brought in Jeremy Pruitt. Woo, what a winner that was. That was amazing. That was 10 years of grief. Then Josh Heupel shows up. It's a disaster. We've had 30 guys transfer out, most of them off the defense. Josh comes in. He's been told by Pat Forday and all the national writers out there, they won't see a winning season for at least 5 years with what they're going through. 25 scholarships lost, the cloud and the stain on that entire university. They'll never get over it. They're lucky they didn't get the death penalty. Had a winning season first season, losing 30 players. He's been dealing with losing scholarships every year. Those 25 scholarships? He hadn't had those. Okay, during all of this success that he's had. Yeah, right here, the next year, 11-2. Next year, 9-4. Next year, 10-3, went to the playoff. This year, he's 6-3. Look at the years before. 3-7. There's 8-5, 5-7, 4-8. We did have a couple of decent 9-4s. Then 7-6, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, 6-7, 7-6, 5-7.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah, we need to get rid of him. He's not doing a very good job. He's brought the program down. Well, I'll be. Look at where Tennessee is in total offense this year. Number 4, 4,537 yards in total offense. Only Indiana has more, 7 yards more. Only Indiana. How about them apples? How about Joey Aguilar, the 3-star out of Appalachian State after NICO creaked us in the spring, left us literally no time to bring somebody in. And we wound up taking UCLA's 3-star. I wonder how he's doing this year. Oh, he's number 2 in the country in total yards, 2,737. He's got 21 touchdowns. I think NICO had 20 touchdowns for the entire season last year, and Joey's already exceeded it. Most people thought we were going to go 7-6, something like that. And let's see how Josh has done with his total offense. Let's see, he was at Mizzou in 2016. In 2015, Missouri scored 13 points a game. He took over as offensive coordinator and scored 31, then 37. Then he took over UCF, 43, 43, and 42. Then he took over Tennessee. They were scoring 21 points a game. He jumped it to 39, then 46. Then they changed the clock rules. And if you'll remember that, it was a lot harder to score. But we had Joe Milton right here. Then we had NICO, 31-35. Then with Joey, we're at 43 again. Right back up, even with the clock rules. And the clock just runs the entire time. It doesn't stop for a first down. It doesn't stop if you go out of bounds. Not unless it's under 2 minutes. The reality is we've had some real bad injuries on the defense, and we had a very good defense last year. We had 2 shutdown corners. The defense should be better. We're going to have to spend a lot of time and attention on that in the offseason, obviously. But when you tie up a ton of money in 2 shutdown corners and they're both out immediately, one lasted 1 game and the other one hadn't been able to come back yet, it makes it very difficult. That's a lot of money tied up. You know what? Let's see what the film guy has to say. He's been pretty neutral about people. He looks at the film, and I think everybody can respect him.
I think the people that are out here hating on Heupel, or if you're a Tennessee fan watching us today and you're like, maybe this isn't the guy, shut up. You know what Tennessee's been? I mean, since 2001, since 2000, Tennessee has been not a laughing stock, but Tennessee has been what Auburn currently is. Tennessee, for 20 straight years, was a 7-win football program. A 7-win football program. Y'all had a quarterback leave in March. You found one off the scrap heap, and you might win 9 games and be 3 or 4 or 5 plays away from being a playoff team. Shut up. Don't you ever come out here and say, maybe Hype's not the guy. Stop. Stop doing that to yourself, because what you're going to do is turn around and end up Butch Jonesing your way back into this shit.
I don't even, what am I supposed to add to that? I mean, I can't believe it. You folks know I'm a Heupel fan. I have been from day one. His offense, I can't stand the thought of having another offense here. I just can't even stand the thought of going through a Hugh Freeze. He scored 3 points against Kentucky. How about a Mark Stoops? They scored 10, and they finally got a win. We're going to screw around and end up messing this up. Look, he got beat by a really good team in Oklahoma. They got some breaks that went their way. It's really rare for us to lose at Neyland. It almost never happens. But we got to get off the Josh Heupel nonsense. Now, look, the vast majority of us aren't going down this path, but there's about 10 or 15% that are going after him. It's the same percentage of people that went after Ohio State's Ryan Day because he lost to Michigan. And they wanted to fire Ryan Day. Fire Ryan Day. Get rid of him.
Fire Ryan Day.
It's the worst moment of my life. You got to fire Ryan Day.
I'll never recover from this. Fire Ryan Day yesterday.
Next thing you know, he's won a national title. That's just how people are. They let their emotions get the better of them after a big loss, and they just think, oh, just chuck the baby out with the bathwater. No, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to stick with Josh Heupel, and we're going to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, because let me tell you something, LSU'd love to have him. If they don't get Lane, they're going to go after Josh, and they're not going after him because he's no good. They're going after him because he turned this program around, and he's got the #1 offense in the SEC. And they know that, and he made the playoffs last year with a substandard quarterback. When it comes to play, guy had 20 touchdowns in a Josh Heupel offense. That's terrible. That's the worst quarterback play that he's had in 10 years. So, just saying, we just need to get a hold of ourselves and realize that not every season's going to go exactly the way you want to. Look, we're in the SEC, folks. We're playing some really good teams. And here's the problem. You might as well get ready for the fact we're going to 9 games next year. We're going to play 9 SEC games.
9 times?
9 times.
It's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. And all of these fan bases that expect to win 10, 11 games a year, good luck. You're not going to.
It's not going to happen.
Greg Sankey just gave you an extra half a loss every year, guaranteed. And everybody's going to be dealing with about the same amount of money. That goes for Alabama and Georgia too. You're not going to be head and shoulders above everybody anymore. You've already seen that. Alabama has skated by and won games that they could have easily lost. Same with Georgia. Georgia's the comeback kids now. They used to dominate teams. Alabama would leave you in the dust after the second quarter. no more. So people might as well get used to the fact that 8, 9, 10 wins is really good in the SEC moving forward. So if you're this upset over 6-3, I don't know. It's going to get rough. I think we got the right coach. I think he's terrific, and I don't want any other coach. I don't want any other coach out there. No thanks. I'm happy with what we got. Sometimes you need to be happy with what you got and not looking over at everybody else's yard. Oh, they got this, they got that. You know, if you've got a vehicle that runs really, really good and is super reliable and gets you exactly where you need to go, you don't have to go out and spend some stupid amount of money on a car that does the exact same thing or may break down on you.
Message.
And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's me know continue to cover all these college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, boom, and boom. That button right there won't cost you a dime, help you get my videos. And right over here is the most recent video. YouTube, thanks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.
All right, that's enough, kids. Let's quiet down and try to be mature, okay?